Hello everyone, this is Devan Edwards, aka Devan the Connector, connecting you to the knowledge that will empower yourself. How to empower the way you respond to life. Got a nice song called Eternal Light. But yeah, we're going to tap into that. Let me just pause the music. How to empower the way we respond to life. Yeah, this topic came to me and I was like, yo, okay, I want to dive in a little bit into this. And I mean, share some ways that's helped me and ways like that can help others in any aspect of our life, you know? And I remember hearing this phrase. This phrase was respond to life through your spiritual practice rather than your emotional programming. And I found that very interesting. Because I mean, it's true. We're multi-dimensional beings having a human experience, and again, we're programmed to feel and think certain ways our whole life, and it's really about going against the programming, that default programming that's built into us, and creating daily habits and practices where we can actually bypass that emotional programming that's holding us back, and like raising our awareness of how we can like mindfully enrich our lives. And I feel that like the spiritual practice, for example, would refer to like our daily ritual or routines and the philosophies and disciplines that keep them in check, keep those daily habits in check. And striving to connect this to our life will take us away from being too reactionary to situations and being more responsive and emotionally sophisticated towards things we can and cannot control. So, like three questions I asked myself, I mean, when reflecting on this was I heard recently in which I can relate this to and become better from. And what are some good and daily bad habits? I mean, good and bad daily habits that I could practice. Because sometimes we practice things like unconsciously, and it's not really serving our highest good until we like sit back and reflect on exactly what we were doing, and we realize that this emotional programming is something that we probably learnt vicariously through someone else. That's not really that's not really connected to our truer self, or a better way we can operate towards that situation. And one thing that was that made me smile when I was thinking about that is we can actually respond to life through responsibility, but more so through our respondability, our ability to respond to these different aspects of our life. And this can be done by getting back to our senses. And what do I mean by that? Getting back to our senses by in the way that through our eyes, our sight, through our ears, our sound, our mouth, taste, and our smell. You know what I mean? Oh, hey guys. Send a little wave at you guys. Rashane Baker, hey, a long time. Pauline Jameson. So yes, so eyes through sight. What are you viewing? You know, what are you viewing in your life that is building you up or empowering you or enriching your life? And also what are you doing that? What are you viewing that's actually causing an emotional response that is not going to help you? Because I mean, sometimes we have the good and the bad, and I mean, if evil is no match for good, but good must be active. So you got to raise what you're viewing to be more empowering than what you're not viewing. Because of course, some people watch news, some people like there's negativity all around. But it's again, where are you directing your attention to? What are you viewing? Are you absorbing things that are quote unquote of the light? Are you viewing things that are really expanding your mind? Are you viewing things that actually make you feel good? you know. And also, and that comes to for example, one thing I do, I have I have vision boards in my room, of all the things that I want to attract into my life. So I'm viewing that every day, and it's generating a feeling where in which I want to go after that. And also viewing, like, it could be videos which I know is going to help me moving forward. And I don't watch news. So I actively seek things that I can read or listen to, books that I can read, that will put me in a state where I can go about my daily business and not worry, because knowing that I control my reality, knowing that it's all about how I respond to what I can and cannot control. So, and number two is, I mean, the sound, of course. What and who are you listening to? Because that's we can trip ourselves up by the people we listen to. I mean, sometimes not all advice is good advice. And people again, everyone has different experiences. So people are saying it from their level of experience. And it may not be right for you at the time or in that moment. So again, it's about using discernment and wisdom to say, okay, what about what was said is useful to me right now, or in this life that I want to create for myself. And again, who you listen to? Are you listening to people that's like constantly negative? And are you picking up on those cues that they're always projecting at you? Are you aware of that? And also, what are you listening to? Are you listening to and watching shows that are just dumbing you down, or you're just watching it with no purpose, or listening with no purpose? Some things that I listen to audiobooks, like personal development audiobooks, personal growth audiobooks, and again, it's directed towards aspects of myself that I want to grow, and it's constant reminders of who I'm being and who I want to be in this lifetime. And also like listening to like high vibrational music. So like you got Earth, Wind and Fire, you know, those old 90s musics, 80s music. I've been listening to them all my life anyway, so it's kind of normal. I mean, but of course, like, you know, when you're doing your workout, you wanna listen to that drill sometimes. Nah, Jake. You wanna listen to that hip hop, of course. But I mean, again, and it's again about being aware of what that triggers within you. Like sometimes music doesn't pump you up the way it will, but you can use it for that specific thing. But again, it's that awareness, like, and knowing how you will respond to it in different situations. Really just raising that awareness. Number 3, what are you consuming? Taste. Are you getting back those senses in what you're consuming? Because what you're consuming can also affect your bodily systems, and your bodily systems cause an emotional response, unknowingly or knowingly. So, do you have too much sugar in your lifestyle? Because you might be a bit too hyper and a bit too reactive. You know what I mean? So, what are you consuming that you could probably cut down or actually bring more of into your lifestyle? Could it be more vegetables, a healthier beverage? You know, I mean, I can hook you up with that. Is it more water intake? Like, are you drinking enough water? Spring water, are you drinking enough of that? Like, what are you consuming? Because again, this all boils down to like knowing ourselves, and that comes on every level. Like knowing what empowers us physically, our physical being, like knowing what makes us feel good inside, mentally, emotionally. Every aspect of ourselves is directed towards the way we respond to life. And that's why I talk about these senses, because it's our senses. Our senses are engaging with things all the time, whether we know or not. So what are you consuming? you know. And smell. What are you smelling? What are you inhaling in the environment you occupy? Like, I mean, are you just surrounded by like smoke? Is there secondhand smoking going on too much around where you are? Or, I mean, because I mean, sometimes that's inevitable when you're going outside, you know. But I mean, some ways to even combat that, I do deep breathing. So I'd be like deep breathing from in through my nose and out from my nose sometimes, and vice versa, just increasing the amount of air I can actually breathe, you know, and also incense. So incense has been my save my got some incense right here. I mean, whenever I have incense in my room or just around the house, the environment feels much better. As I know some people out there, they do the sage and the Palo Santo and stuff like that. And have you ever used that, or have lit a candle or whatnot, and it just smells great, and you just the mood just changes. Have you ever noticed that? And it's like, oh yes, like I feel some type of way, you know. But it's like, but again, that brings like a more joy and more high vibration, where you are more open to do things that are going to serve your highest good. And again, still, there has to be an awareness of what that is doing in that situation or for your life. So like literally, because I mean, there was actually science that says like our environment really is a governing factor in terms of how we actually operate in life as well. So it may be the things in our environment that's really affecting us, and we just thought that's just been our whole life, but sometimes it's not. Like, have you ever just when was the first time you ever went to another country, and it just completely changed your perspective on how you perceived it? Or you entered a different culture, you start observing a different culture, and you're like, wow, this is new to me, you know. And or they operate differently. So again, it also boils down to, is that aspects of what I'm observing serving my intention as well. So yeah, those like the four things. Like, so those four ways to like empower yourself, power your respondability by getting back to your senses. So analyze your sight, what you're viewing, analyze who and what you're listening to, analyze what you're consuming food wise, drink wise, and analyze what you're inhaling or ingesting in the environments you occupy. Okay? So again, type down and put down in the comments what you found most valuable, what resonated most about this video with you, and anything that you're going to be working on to empower yourself to respond better, or increase your respondability to the life around you. Let me know in the comments below what you were going to do. And if you're watching the replay of this, type replay in the comments below. And also, drop a little fire emoji in the comments below if you found value in what you saw. Like, comment, share, subscribe wherever where YouTube, Facebook, wherever this video ends up, you know. And again, let's continue to renew our thoughts and practices towards the pursuit of enrichment, expansion, enlightenment, and empowerment in this lifetime. Because the more we know ourselves, the more we work on ourselves and grow ourselves, by default the collective will grow and heal, and all these other components that will make this world a better place to occupy and interact with. So again, it starts with our individual reality, starts with our mind, body, spirit. Empower that, and you empower your whole world. So this is Divine Edwards, aka Divine the Connector, connecting you to the knowledge that will empower yourself. Stay empowered, and just remember, the connection continues. Take care. Outro.